Okay, here we go. Lesson 28, analyzing quadratic equations. I want everybody to take your highlighter and I want you to highlight the word quadratic. Somebody tell me what a quadratic is, guys. What is it? It's a parabola. Yep. It might open up, it might open down. What does the graph look like? Talk to me, guys. Could be like this. Could be like this. Okay? I actually would love you to sketch those right there because, you guys, if your parabola opens up, your vertex is a minimum, right? It's a low point. If your parabola opens down, then your vertex is a maximum, okay? So sometimes parabolas have minimums, sometimes they have maximums. It depends on how they open, okay? All right, here we go with question number 1. A soft drink manufacturer has a daily production cost represented by this equation, where C is the cost in dollars and X is the number of units produced. Find the number of units that should be produced each day to yield a minimum cost. Okay, everybody freeze for 2 seconds. Every single time you do a word problem, here's how I want you to start, okay? I want you to write X equals and Y equals. Now, sometimes there's not an X or maybe there's not even a Y. But you guys, I know that you think in terms of X and Y. So I'm trying to make that connection as to how you guys think about it. Okay, everybody look. It's solved for Y. Pardon me, it's solved for C. Whatever it's solved for represents the Y. So the Y is the cost. Okay. The other variable does so happen to be an X, and they tell us that is the number of units produced. Okay. If you take that 15 seconds and write down what things stand for, it's going to help you to not get confused, okay? So please take the time to do that. Read the question. Find the number of units that should be produced each day to yield a minimum cost. There's a word in there that stands out that tells us which direction we should go. Tell me the word. It's minimum. Yes. You guys, the reason it says minimum is this. Everybody look right here. Here's my graph. This is a parabola that opens up. The vertex is a minimum, okay? So I know I'm going to do this. Guys, write this. My vertex is HK. H is negative B over 2A. Now, don't get confused. The A is with the X squared, so it's out of order. The B is with the X, so it's right there. So I'm going to go negative B. I want you to go negative 120 over 2 times A, which is 0.055. Okay, now let me tell you what I do. I look and I say, I've got 2 negatives. Everybody freeze and look at it. Out of all those numbers, I have 2 negatives. I know 2 negatives is going to give me a positive. So I don't even worry about the signs. I figure them out in my head and then I'm done. Okay, every person in the room has a calculator in their hand. Here we go. I want you to go 120, divide. Everybody tell me what is the next button you're going to push. It is a parenthesis, yes. 2 times 0.055, close it, enter, and there's my answer. Now, you never round your answer unless, finish my sentence, unless they tell you to, right? So I want you to add to the directions whole, round to the nearest whole. So you're going to come over here, and it's going to be 1,091. You guys, that's the X coordinate of the vertex. 2 seconds. That's the X coordinate of the vertex. The X coordinate stands for units produced. Read the question. Find the number of units that should be produced. So that's my answer. Okay. So I'm going to go 1,091. Every single word problem has to have a label. My label on this is, tell me, units. Yeah, units produced or units. Yes, Malin?
So what exactly is this asking for? Like, minimum cost just doesn't make a ton of sense. Like, what is it? What does it want?
Okay, everybody freeze right there. Tell me mathematically, as far as like the formulas and stuff, and then we're going to apply it. What are they asking me for? Everybody tell me. Somebody tell me. They want units produced that's going to minimize the cost. Units produced is X. So they're asking you for the X coordinate of the, talk to me everybody. X coordinate of the vertex, of the minimum, yeah, okay. So Malin, listen to this. You own a business, right? You want to make as much money as you can. If you're a big business and you've got money, you want people to analyze your company and to figure out how to minimize your costs. Because the lower your costs are, the more money you're going to make. So that's what it's asking.
So basically it's asking how to maximize profit.
Yes, which is minimize cost. Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yes. No, don't be sorry, sweetheart. You're great. Okay, here we go with example 2. Okay. The marketing department at TI has found that when certain calculators are sold at a price of P dollars per unit, the revenue can be described by this equation. Okay, everybody freeze. First thing I always want you to do is go x equals y equals. X is the first one, y is the second coordinate. It's solve for r, so I know my y is represented by my r. Read in the words, what does r stand for? It stands for revenue. Yeah, that's how much money you bring in. That's how much money you make. X is represented by the variable P. What does P stand for? It stands for price. Yep, dollars per unit. Okay, read the question. What unit price should we choose to maximize the revenue? What's the word that's standing out to us, guys? Maximize. The second you read that, you're like, okay, they're asking me for a vertex. Okay, so I'm going to go, my vertex is HK. H is negative B over 2A. So that's negative B. B is 21,000 over 2 times A, which is negative 150. Okay? You two look at my eyes. You okay? Okay. Thanks, Harrison. Okay. Look at the numbers. You've got 2 negatives. 2 negatives, it gives me a positive, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay? I've already figured out it's going to be a positive. Everybody in the room, go 21,000 divided by. You guys, when we do calculator work, I really need you to do it with me because it gets a little tricky. And if you don't put things where they're supposed to be, it's going to mess you up. After I hit the divide sign, every person in the room tell me what I have to do. Parenthesis, yes. And then I'm going to go 2 times 150, close it off, hit enter, and I get 70. Okay, everybody freeze. 70 is the x coordinate of the, talk to me everybody, of the maximum, which is the vertex. The x coordinate stands for price. So this is the price that's going to maximize the revenue, right? Read the question. What unit price? I'm done. My label is a dollar sign. There's my answer. They wanted the x coordinate of the vertex. Look at part B. When this price is charged, what is the maximum revenue? Tell me what to do. What do I do? Plug it in. Yeah, we've already done this, you guys. Everybody go R equals negative 150 times 70 squared plus 2100 times 70. I have to see that work. Make sure you write that down. Okay, grab your calculator. Negative 150 parenthesis. 70, close your parenthesis, hit your x squared button, plus 21,000, parenthesis, 70, close it, enter. There's my answer, 735,000. That's the y coordinate of my vertex, which stands for revenue. That's what they want. What's my label? Talk to me. Dollar sign. Money. Revenue's money. That's it. Okay. Who's with me? Do a big raise up if you're good. I got to see a hand raise. Okay, awesome. Okay, so question 3, we did that already. Okay, we got a maximum of 100 feet. Is that right, guys? Okay. The maximum height, we plugged in the 100, and we got 53 feet. Make sure you write down the words that go with that. Okay. How far from home plate will the ball reach the ground? Okay, everybody grab your pencil. I want you to draw a coordinate 1 graph. I know this is a parabola that opens down. We already did this, remember? It starts up here. So it's going to come up, like Abigail said, it's going to take a normal flow. Gravity's going to pull it down. Okay, so there's your graph. I want every single one of you to take your pencil, and I want you to put a dot on that graph where the ball is reaching the ground. Put a dot on your paper right now for me. Okay, your dot should be right there. Your height is 0. You're touching the ground. Who says I knew that? Raise your hand up high. Okay, yay. Put an XY coordinate right there. Tell me what you know about one of those coordinates. Talk to me. The Y is a 0. The Y represents the what? Talk to me. The height, right? So if it's on the ground, the height is a 0. So right here, I want you to say Y equals 0. The height is a 0. So now you go into that equation, and you're going to let the Y be a 0. Okay, so everybody go negative 0.005. X to the second plus X plus 3 equals 0. Okay, I want everyone to freeze right here. How can you solve that? Don't shout. How can you solve it? Let me ask you a couple of questions. Could I factor? You guys are all like, You know what the answer is? Maybe. Would it be fun? No, I would never factor. Okay, here's another question. Could I complete the square? Could I complete the square?
Yes, but it's not your best idea.
Yes, you could, but it's going to be horrid, right? So factoring totally works. Completing the square totally works. I would never choose either one of them because they're so bad. What would we do? Quadratic formula. Let's do it, okay? Everybody go x equals negative 1 plus or minus the square root of, do not write this, remember, 1 squared. Don't write that because I feel like you're going to mess up. 1 squared is 1, okay? Minus 4 times a, which is negative 0.005, times c, which is a 3, all over 2 times a, 2 times negative 0.005, okay? Now, I want you to add to the directions to round 3 digits past the decimal, okay? If it says to round to 3 digits, you guys, listen, go from that setup to your answer. Just go right to it, okay? Now, everybody freeze. Don't do anything yet. It's a little complicated. I have to add parentheses before I put it in. I need someone to tell me where. Raise your hand and tell me where. There are multiple sets that I have to input. Go ahead.
Well, could you do it,
It's okay.
you would first do the 1, so when you do the square root, so do the 1 minus 4, all like in this.
You do have to have parentheses around the square root. The calculator automatically inputs it for you, and I'll show you that in 2 seconds. Somebody tell me where. Just a quick, easy answer. Go ahead.
Before the 2.
Before the 2, and then where are you going to close it off, honey?
After the.
Yep, so the bottom, right? The denominator. Someone tell me another place you have to put parentheses. Talk to me. Around, before the negative 1, and then where would you end up? At the end. Okay, so the quick answer is the top and the bottom. Okay, grab your calculator. If you think you can do this, I don't want you to do this on your own for the first time. We're going to do this together. Okay, here we go. Everybody go parenthesis, negative 1, plus second x squared. Freeze right there. Do you see how the calculator automatically gave you a parenthesis? That's what Hope was talking about. Okay, it's automatic. So don't put another one. Then go 1 minus 4 parenthesis, negative 0.005, close it off, new parenthesis 3. Everybody freeze. How many closes do I need? The first close I hit closes off the tell me. Talk out loud. Closes off the 3. The second one I hit closes off the tell me. The radical. And then I have to do one more to close off the tell me. The top. Yes. So everybody draw an arrow right there. And I want you to say 3 close parentheses. You have to remember that. Or the calculator's not going to understand what you're trying to say. Then you go divided by parenthesis. See this right here, guys? I do not input this like this. I just hit multiply because I know that's what that means and is easier. So I'm going to go 2 times negative 0.005, close it off, hit enter, freeze. Everybody freeze right there. Don't touch your calculator. Just let that be. So I'm going to go negative 2.9. How many digits did I say? 3. So that would be 56. Okay, everybody freeze. I want you to hit the up button on your calculator, the up arrow. Then I want you to go right, right, right. Now you're on top of the plus. What am I going to overwrite it with? Talk to me. A negative. That's going to be my second answer. Hit enter, and there we go. Everybody go 202.956. Okay? I want you to talk to me about those solutions. Somebody talk to me about this. Go ahead.
Wouldn't you have to divide that then by the number to that second 202.956?
No. So this is saying the two places where it hits the ground are those two places. And I just took this quadratic formula and applied it, stuck it in. Okay?
But you know how like in the first one,
How do you have two places? in that?
2 seconds. Go ahead.
how you like did the top part and then you divided it by the,
2 times.
why didn't you do that to the second one?
I did. When I go up and I change it to a negative, it recomputes the whole thing with a negative. So I don't, it's so cool because you just have to go up and change it and it just recomputes the whole thing. So you don't have to do any adjustment. Do you understand what I'm saying, honey?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
How can you have 2 times that the ball hits the ground, man?
Well, let's talk about it. Look at your picture. Someone said you can't. Well, in baseball, you kind of can, right? It can bounce or whatever. But talk about this. Abigail? Everybody listen here since she's answering you. Go ahead, honey.
So in the practical it can, but mathematically it goes up and down. So it will hit the ground in the negative. So we stop the graph at the y-axis, but we could keep going. Does that make sense?
Does it make sense to you, what she's saying to you? You're exactly right. Beautifully worded. Talk about those numbers. Someone talk to me about those numbers. Go ahead.
Well, isn't it like the, so 202, that's like how far away or, I don't know, so.
That's the next one. That's the how far from home plate is.
Yeah.
Okay, look right here. I'm playing baseball. I have my bat. I hit the bat, and it goes negative 2.956. Where did my ball go? It went behind me. Can you play baseball with a ball that went behind you? No. Can you have a negative distance? Talk to me about that. No. So that answer is not going to work out. So I want you to write 2 words underneath that answer. What are the words I'm going to say? No, we've said it before. What are the words? You're right. Somebody started to say invalid. Remember? Invalid solution. It does not make sense. So you're going to go to the 202.96. You're going to add the word feet. You're going to highlight it, and you're done. Okay, I want to show you one more thing. Do not clear your calculator. Okay? Do you have that 202.96 in your calculator? Talk to me about that. Look at your calculator. Is it there? If it's there, you can participate with this. Listen, I put a study schedule together for your final. You're going to study for about 10 hours for your final. Okay? You're going to come in and you're going to be so ready and you're going to do a problem, and the second you do the second you're done, this is what I want you to say to yourself. Can I check my answer? Is there any possible way to check my answer? You guys, can I check this answer?
Yes.
What do I do? Plug it back in. I'm going to store it, and when I plug it back in, everybody tell me what I should get.
0.
A 0. Everybody hit store, enter. Then I want you to go negative 0.005, membar, enter, x squared, plus membar, enter, plus 3, enter. I got a 0, bam. I just got it right. There's no question in my mind, because once I got it, I plugged it back in, and it worked. Okay? Who says gotcha? Let's see. Raise your hand. Let me see how we're feeling. Okay, 2 seconds. Hi, honey.
Hi. Is Rachel here?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, everybody look right here. Eyeballs right here. Raise your hand if you're good with that. Up high, let me see. Give me a raise. Okay, don't lie though. Okay, here we go. Next one. When will the ball reach a height of 2? Say it again.
But y is 2.
Your y is the height. They want to know when the height is 2, and you are exactly right. Okay?
Right.
So, everybody write this down. -0.005 x to the second plus x plus 3 equals 2. What do I do now? Talk to me. Move your 2 over, right? So you have -0.005 x to the second plus x plus 1 equals 0. Could I factor?
Yeah.
Maybe. Could I use completing the square?
Yeah.
Yep. Will I? No. What's the easiest? Quadratic. Everybody go x equals -1 plus or minus the square root of 1 squared is 1 minus 4 times a, which is -0.005 times c, which is a 1. I'm not even going to write times 1 because it doesn't change anything. All over 2 times -0.005. You guys, if you can't put this into your calculator correctly, you're going to miss it. So you have to know what you're doing. So participate, okay? Grab your pencils and I want you to input parentheses around the top and around the bottom. Okay? Here we go. Grab those calculators. Parenthesis. -1 plus second x squared. 1 minus 4 parenthesis. -0.005. Tell me how many close parentheses I need. Talk to me. 3. Close, close, close. Divide, parenthesis. 2 times -0.005. Close it, enter, and I get x equals -0.995. We're going 3 digits. Add those to the directions because you would never do it unless I told you. Okay? Talk to me about that answer, everybody. Talk to me, please. It's not going to work out, right? So we're going to say right now, invalid solution. Okay? Up. Right, right, right. Make it a negative. When you do that, honey, it automatically recomputes the whole line. Oh, yeah, it was here, right? Hit enter, and you get 200.995. I'm going to put the word feet. I'm going to box it or highlight it. I know I'm done, right? Everybody hit store enter. Here's the sweet thing. You don't have to put that whole equation in. Everybody hit up, 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 up. Now I'm back on top of my equation. I hit enter again, and I got a 2, and that's what I was supposed to get because I wanted to have a height of 2. Okay? Who says I'm good? Let me see. Up high. Raise your hand. Okay, good. Okay, practical domain, practical range. Everybody do this. Draw your picture. Goes like this. Okay? This peaked out right here at 100,53. That's your vertex. We figured out that it hits the ground at 200.96. Is that what it was? I can't believe I remembered that number. 200.96, comma 0. 956? Dang. Wasn't quite right. 956. Oh.
Just getting farther and farther from the truth.
Well, give me a break. Okay, 202.956. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Comma 0. Okay, practical domain, practical range. Domain, you do it. Everybody do it. It's going to be on your final. I know it will. You don't have to compute anything. It's all right there. It's all in front of you. Okay, everybody in the room talk to me. Domain. Is that X or is that Y? It's X, okay? Is that horizontal or is that vertical? Talk to me. Horizontal. We're talking right here. Practical is what makes sense. To the left of that highlighted area does not make sense. What's the smallest domain on this graph? Talk to me. 0. Do I close that with a bracket or do I close it with a parenthesis? I say bracket. Yep, because it's actually touching it. What's the biggest that X can get? Everybody talk to me. 202.956. Yep. with a bracket, okay? Range is y. Here's my y. Look what I'm looking at. I'm looking at here, okay? The smallest y, what is it? Everybody talk to me. It is 0. What's the biggest y on my graph? 53. Yep. That's it. Yes, honey.
Actually, like, why wouldn't it be 3?
Say it again.
Why? Because when it touches the ground at the very end, it y equals 0.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know I've said this to you guys before, but you feel so comfortable in here. She wasn't talking to you. She was talking to me. But I love that you interjected and answered. Like, I just sit back and let this go. And you answered. Honestly, I wasn't even quite sure what she said. And it doesn't matter because you took care of it. So that's perfect. Okay, here we go. Question 4. This is our last one. A company has found that the revenue in dollars from the sale of pagers is a function of the unit price that it charges. The revenue is given by this equation. What unit price should be charged to maximize the revenue? What is the maximum revenue? Okay, so this is a really old problem. You guys don't even know what a pager is.
Yes, we do.
You do? Okay,
Yeah,
tell
drug
us.
dealers use to,
Drug dealers? Really?
Grey's Anatomy.
Yes. Okay, tell us what a pager is. Everybody listen.
I don't know, it like beeps you to a place, I think.
It beeps you to a place. This is really funny because I'm old and you're not. So I'm just saying. Okay, I'm going to tell you what a pager is. It's going to make you laugh. So I think they still use them in the medical field. It's like a little thing right here. And it has a phone number. Then you call this number and it vibrates. And then you look at it and it lists the phone number that's calling you. Then you go to a landline and you call the people back. This was pre-cell phone days, okay? So this is really old, okay? Yeah, it was like really long ago. So let's just cross out the word pagers and let's say cell phones. I was talking to Mrs. Baird, who also teaches 1010, and she's like, yeah, we need to change that to cell phones. I was like, okay, so it's changed. Okay, here we go. There's your equation. So everybody start with x equals and y equals. It's solve for r of p. What does that stand for? You tell me. Y is revenue. Yes. Y is r, which is revenue. The x value is represented by a p, and what does that stand for, everybody? Unit price. Yep, I'm just going to say price. Okay. What price should be charged to maximize the revenue? Tell me the word that pops out to you. Maximize. The reason it's maximize, you guys, is this is a parabola that opens down. So the vertex is going to be a maximum. So everybody write down, my vertex is HK. H is negative B over 2A. So that's negative B, which is 1900, over 2 times negative, can I put 0.5? Can I do that? Yes, I can. Because 1/2 is exactly 0.5, so that's fine. 2 negatives gives me a positive. Forget about the sign. I know it's a positive. Everybody go 1900 divide. Right now, everybody tell me what to push. Parenthesis. Yes. 2 times 0.5. Close it off. Hit enter. And I get 1900. What does that stand for? It's the x coordinate of the vertex, which is the, lots of you said it. What is it? The unit price. Read the question. What unit price should be charged? I'm done. My label is a $sign. But there's a second question. What is the maximum revenue? How do you do that? You just plug it in. Yeah, make sure you show work. Everybody go R of 1900 is equal to negative 0.5 times 1900 squared plus 1900 times 1900. Grab your calculator. Negative 0.5, parenthesis, 1900, close it, x squared, plus 1900, parenthesis, 1900, close it, enter. What if you ended up with a negative number right there? You know you're wrong. You know you're wrong, right? So you would have to stop and find your mistake. Okay, so go 1,805,000. Some of you are not putting your commas in there. and it's just kind of sloppy. So just make sure you put those in. What's my label, everybody? $sign is correct, and I'm done. That's it. Okay? Who says I'm good? Raise your hand. Let me see how you feel. Okay, good. So next week,